Good afternoon, everyone. Could you please take your seats? Bon après-midi, bonjour. My name is Susan Goletz, and I'm the Director of the Ontario Honours and Awards Secretariat, and I will be your MC this afternoon. I am pleased to welcome you to the Order of Ontario Investiture Ceremony. Please take a moment to turn off your cell phones and any other electronic devices. Thank you. I would like to begin this afternoon's ceremony by acknowledging the land on which we are hosting today's investiture ceremony. Toronto is a sacred gathering place for many Indigenous peoples of Turtle Island. I wish to recognize the long history of First Nations and Métis peoples in Ontario and show respect to the Mississaugas of the Credit. Please welcome the members of the Advisory Council of the Order of Ontario. And now, please join me in greeting the 2019 appointees to the Order of Ontario. As is customary at this time, for those who are able, please rise and join me in welcoming the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, Her Honour, the Honourable Elizabeth Dodswell, accompanied by the Honourable Parm Gill, Minister of Citizenship and Multiculturalism. Please remain standing for the playing of the Vice-Regal Salute. seated. I now invite Ms. Maggie John to deliver the invocation. Maggie John is the anchor and producer of Context Beyond the Headlines and has been a national producer, field reporter, and television host for more than 15 years.
Let us pray. Almighty God, creator of all things, thank you for the ways in which you have blessed those who are here today, the gifts you have bestowed on each of our appointees. We thank you for the ways they have given tirelessly to others, sharing their talent, knowledge, and skills with those in our province and around the world. Would you continue to bless their hands? Let them be used by you to further the work you have called them to. Would you bless their feet, that they will continue to step into rooms that are meant for them to be in? Would you bless their minds as they use them to solve some of the world's problems and make our province and country safer places to be? Bless them as they move and have your being. They are survivors, leaders, culture shapers, mentors, advisors, composers, healers, peacemakers, and communicators. They are yours. Some have survived unspeakable horrors, some illness and disease, and yet through your mercy and grace, you have placed all of us here today to listen and learn, celebrate and honor what has been done in and through each of these individuals, your creations. And with that, we say thank you, God. May what we hear today never leave us, but inspire each of us in humility, grace, and love to be better human beings for your goodness. Amen.
Thank you very much, Maggie. It is now my pleasure to invite Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, to bring remarks. Your Honor.
Chief Justice, Minister Gill, Mr. Speaker, parliamentarians, distinguished guests, investees, and your families, mes chers amis, good evening, bonsoir, bonjour. Je suis ravie d'être ici avec vous ce soir. Tonight, I wish to begin by recognizing the Crown. I represent has always had a special relationship with the Indigenous peoples of these lands. So as we gather here on the traditional territory of Indigenous peoples, we renew that relationship, rededicating ourselves to the spirit of the treaties and to the essential work of reconciliation. In October 1940, when bombs were falling on her capital city, all around her fellow citizens, on even her own home, a young woman spoke out. She said, "When peace comes, remember it will be for us, the children of today, to make the world a better and happier place." These are the words of Her Majesty the Queen. They are, in fact, part of her very first public address, delivered when she was only 14 years old. What courage that must have taken for one so young. Then Princess Elizabeth was speaking at a time of war, when Canada's soldiers were soon to be fighting and dying for the cause of freedom in Europe. She spoke from the heart to the children of the Commonwealth. And there's a simplicity to her words, a clarity, a voice of conviction about the possibility and the meaning of peace, and all that flows from it. That when we fight for peace, when we serve, we work to build a brighter and more prosperous future that we might never come to experience, and for people, for future generations whom we might never come to know. And it is in this way that the message of Her Majesty's maiden speech holds true to this very day. With the three crises of the almost unthinkable war of Ukraine, the existential fight to arrest and reverse the impacts of climate change, and the ongoing challenges of the COVID-19 global pandemic, it is an unmistakable truth that our society has been and is now being tested. Tests that have pulled at our social fabric, that have exposed deeply rooted inequalities, but tests for which I submit we hold some answers. La population d'Ontario a démontré avec détermination, penser aux autres avant tout, penser à l'avenir avant tout, mettre le pays avant tout. This year we honor Her Majesty's Platinum Jubilee, 70 years of service and steadfast devotion to the people of Canada. It's an opportunity to reflect on our values and, significantly, to celebrate who we are. And this very ceremony is the perfect way to do both. And it's one that I must say I'm deeply thankful that we can do together and in person. Back in January 2021, when the announcement of the 2019 appointees was made, and when unfortunately it became very clear that we were not going to be able to gather for a ceremony, I took the opportunity to call and congratulate each of you. And I'm so very glad I did. The intention of my call was initially to thank you for the incredible contributions that you had already made to Ontario. But the focus of each of those conversations quickly turned to the contributions you were making in the present moment. How you were continuing to fight for equity and inclusion in all sectors. How you were both practicing and championing groundbreaking science and medicine. How you were educating our young people on the lessons of history. How you were thinking creatively, solving problems, and building community. In short, when this pandemic changed almost everything about our society, through your actions, you helped prove that as a people, we are strong, we are empathetic, we are resilient, and that we will always cherish and fight for peace and for each other. At times, it's been said that the COVID-19 pandemic has called into question some of our most basic assumptions about our identity as Ontarians and Canadians. For crises, as we know, can reveal both the worst and the best in us. For the best to win out depends on a constancy of choices to look beyond ourselves, on an uncompromising will to fight injustice and to promote human rights. It depends on locating that essential, that fundamental core of our collective character. And it's you, the appointees to this distinguished order, our province's highest honor, who have and continue to help us find that core, to find the very best in ourselves. So it's with the greatest admiration as Her Majesty the Queen's representative and Chancellor of the Order of Ontario that I congratulate you on this accomplishment. Je souhaite également rendre hommage à ceux et celles qui vous ont soutenu dans votre parcours. famille, collègues, mentors. Enfin, je remercie le gouvernement de l'Ontario de continuer à soutenir cette société d'honneur et mérite, ainsi que le juge en chef, les membres du conseil consultatif et, bien sûr, les auteurs de candidature. It is such a personal privilege to be in your company and to share in the pride of your families. You deserve to enjoy this afternoon and this evening. Thank you for inspiring us all. Merci, miigwech.
Thank you, Your Honor. I now call upon Deputy Minister David Way to introduce today's appointees.
Good afternoon. Bon après-midi, Your Honor, Minister Gill, honored appointees, distinguished guests, family, and friends. As Secretary General to the Order of Ontario, it is my privilege to introduce our 22 newest appointees to the Order of Ontario in 2019. Your Honor, the first appointee this afternoon is Melanie Adrian. At a time when the world needed humanitarians and educators, celebrated leader and professor, Dr. Melanie Adrian, helped establish Carleton University as a global leader in protecting vulnerable scholars by spearheading a Canadian section of the Scholars at Risk Network. She holds a PhD from Harvard University and is currently an associate professor in the Department of Law and Legal Studies at Carleton University. A frontrunner in advancing cutting-edge democratic pedagogical approaches, catalyst elements in engendering a paradigm shift in university teaching, Dr. Adrian's classes are intentionally designed for experiential learning. A breast cancer survivor, she has created a not-for-profit organization, Be the Choice, which has empowered over 26,000 patients to understand their diagnoses and navigate their treatment options. Her pioneering work has earned her many accolades, including the Canada 150 Senate Medal for outstanding contributions to Canadian society. Dr. Adrian's impact is felt far beyond the thresholds of her classrooms. Your Honor, Melanie Adrian. Your Honor, the next appointee is Roland Rowley Armitage. A decorated World War II veteran and patriot, devoted veterinarian, former politician, and published author, Dr. Rolly Armitage served as mayor of West Carleton Township and has distinguished himself as a consummate community leader with rural roots and a remarkable dedication to serve others. He is renowned for his advocacy work in the sport of harness racing and placing Canada at the cutting edge of its technology. For his laudable efforts to advance the sport and augment track safety, Dr. Armitage was inducted into the Canadian Horse Racing Hall of Fame. An accomplished wordsmith, Dr. Armitage's trilogy provides a glimpse, a reflection of a bygone era to the present day, tracing a colorful career of a true Canadian who was a force in harness racing. An extraordinary veteran, a dedicated veterinarian, and a grassroots Canadian leader. Now on the sunny side of 96 years of age, Dr. Armitage has lived life with gusto and spirit. Your Honor, Rolly Armitage. Your Honor, the next appointee is Barbara Asiganok. Barbara Asiganok is a celebrated Anishinaabe, Odawa, Ojibwe, and Potawatomi composer and recording artist, connecting people through music rooted in traditional Anishinaabe teaching while transforming European musical traditions, instrumental sounds, and musical forms. Her highly acclaimed works have been performed by major orchestras across Canada and around the world. A performer and educator, Barbara Asiganok is founder and director of Ergo Ensemble, promoting and fostering the creation and performance of contemporary chamber works by composers worldwide, with a special emphasis on emergent composers, women composers, and composers of color and Indigenous heritage. On the strength of her achievements, recording credits of her music and performance include CBC Radio, Deutsche Radio Suisse, Radio France, Italian National Television, to name a few. It is said Barbara Asiganok has always risen to creative opportunities by works of great originality and of the very highest quality. She is one of the very best composers of her generation. Your Honor, Barbara Asiganok. Your Honor, the next appointee, Alan Carswell, is unable to attend today's investiture. Distinguished Canadian physicist and international leader in the field of laser imaging technology and the development of related space instrumentation, Dr. Alan Carswell's research pioneered the use of cutting-edge laser radar for remote sensing applications, such as monitoring the Arctic ozone layer. Founder and chair of Optech Incorporated, he positioned his company as a global leader in the field of LiDAR, light detection and ranging, or 3D scanning technology. Dr. Carswell will be invested at a later date. Your Honor, the next appointee is Helen Ching Kircher. From humble beginnings in her native Hong Kong, Helen Ching Kircher's talent for business established her as an internationally recognized leader and philanthropist. As a dealer principal, president, and CEO of DFC Auto Group, comprising downtown Porsche and Audi Uptown, Helen is a champion of innovation and technology, employing both to grow her highly successful automotive business. Giving back to her community, to others, and to worthy causes is an integral part of her life, and she is a tireless supporter of healthcare, medical research, and the arts and culture in Ontario. A woman who fought hard to be in the driver's seat, Helen has been recognized at home and abroad for her philanthropic efforts. As a recipient of many highly coveted awards, she embodies the hope and aspirations of many immigrants who came to Canada with a vision. Helen Ching Kircher turned that vision into reality by embodying a deeply held belief that you must be passionate about something, pursue it, share it, and everything becomes possible. Your Honor, Helen Ching Kircher. Your Honor, the next appointee, John Colangeli, is unable to attend today's investiture. Renowned for his compassionate service to children and youth mental health, Dr. John Colangeli is CEO of Lutherwood, a not-for-profit organization serving nearly 22,000 people per year in the Waterloo region. Dr. Colangeli will be invested at a later date. Your Honor, the next appointee is Nancy Coldham. Through her professional, social, and charitable pursuits, Nancy Coldham is dedicated to the advancement of women in business and in politics and fighting injustice and gender discrimination. She helps advance women and girls through supporting a number of well-established organizations locally, as well as mentoring women entrepreneurs abroad in post-conflict countries, including Afghanistan and Rwanda. Ms. Coldham is a founding partner of Canadian public affairs consulting firm the CG Group and has built a distinguished career as the consummate strategist, consensus builder, and mentor, channeling her talents to improve the lives of women and girls. She shares her zeal and skills here and around the globe, taking Ontario know-how and advantages to new markets. For her efforts, Nancy was honored by the UN Global Compact Canada with the Gender Equity Award and named VIP of the Year by Worldwide Who's Who, a special distinction honoring individuals exhibiting exceptional commitment to achieving personal and professional successes. Your Honor, Nancy Colton. Your Honor, the next appointee is Sean Conway. At the age of 24, Sean Conway became one of the youngest members of provincial parliament. He represented the people of Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke for 28 years, from 1975 to 2003. An eminent legislator, legendary orator, and senior minister in the cabinet of Premier David Peterson, Mr. Conway's public policy experience has been tapped by many governments and organizations. His compelling oratory, policy, and academic credentials, and deep interest and knowledge of the history of Ontario and Canada made him an effective MP in both government and opposition. Since leaving the Ontario legislature, Mr. Conway has been a valued public policy and strategic advisor, media analyst, public speaker, university professor, and writer. Through his countless contributions as a legislator, public policy expert, historian, educator, and author, Sean Conway has served Ontario with great distinction. Your Honor, Sean Conway. Your Honor, the next appointee is Claire Copeland. Claire Copeland is a visionary whose leadership has elevated the profile of many Ontario institutions and corporations, including Ontario Place, Toronto Hydro, and the Falls Management Corporation. As chair of Ontario Place, Mr. Copeland's rebranding efforts for this Ontario waterfront attraction not only reversed a decline in attendance, it transformed a beloved Toronto landmark. As chair of Toronto Hydro from 1999 to 2013, Mr. Copeland sponsored programs that decreased emissions and improved Ontario's environment, spurring major infrastructure renewal and modernization. As CEO of Falls Management Corporation since 2004, Mr. Copeland has played a leading role in revitalizing tourism in Niagara Falls, introducing gaming to the region in a responsible and community-oriented manner. Since his early days as CEO of People's Jewelers, Mr. Copeland's business savvy has been sought by many. Your Honor, Claire Copeland. Your Honor, the next appointee is Lisa Ferrano. Co-creator of the children's education charity Elephant Thoughts, Lisa Ferrano was on a mission to educate, support, and provide new opportunities to children in impoverished communities around the world. More recently, her focus on Indigenous education support and relationship building has resulted in measurable change in over 100 schools and communities across Canada. Initially dedicated to global development, Elephant Thoughts provided educational support to India, Tanzania, and Nicaragua, bringing opportunities to students in the most remote communities. Its sustainability program in Tanzania transformed schools into an economic community hub, improving the lives of over 20,000 students. Today, Elephant Thoughts continues to provide academic support to complement programming in Indigenous communities throughout Canada, which has resulted in dramatic increases in graduation rates. Through her public awareness campaign, her Indigenous life festivals, and her personal drive to build relationships and dialogue between municipalities and Indigenous communities, Ms. Ferrano has dedicated herself to raising awareness of Indigenous perspectives across Canada. Your Honor, Lisa Ferrano. Your Honor, the next appointee is Jeff Fernie. An inspired biomedical engineer and inventor, Dr. Jeff Fernie is a senior scientist and former director of the Research Institute at the Toronto Rehabilitation Institute, who has revolutionized daily accessibility and made the world a better place for persons with disabilities. His research interests are primarily focused on inventing solutions to everyday problems, developing technologies to prevent injury and disease, and helping individuals and their family caregivers continue to live in their own homes as they age. With a track record of taking inventions from the laboratory and making them available to the market, his numerous patents include innovative wheelchairs, bathroom aids, and others reducing the physical burden of caring for people. He continues to break ground, making Canada more accessible for everyone by creating practical, affordable solutions for commonplace problems. He is recognized worldwide as a pioneer in rehabilitation engineering and as a leader in the promotion of interdisciplinary research and rehabilitation in Canada. Your Honor, Jeff Fernie. Your Honor, the next appointee is Alan Fox. The name Dr. Alan Fox is synonymous with the genesis and pivotal development of a new medical specialty, neuroradiology, a subspecialty of diagnostic radiology. Interventional neuroradiology was derived further using minimally invasive imaging to diagnose and treat head, neck, and spine diseases such as strokes and brain aneurysms. London is a global center of excellence for the treatment of brain aneurysms and brain vascular diseases, and Dr. Fox contributed to the advances at Western University. He was the first in Canada to treat an aneurysm with detachable platinum coils, now the standard of care. Dr. Alan Fox shaped neuroradiology in Canada and abroad, changing how diseases of the brain and spine are diagnosed and treated. He founded neuroradiology for the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada and the Ontario Medical Association's neuroradiology section. He frequently volunteered in neuroradiology abroad, working for equality for Palestinian and Jewish Israeli citizens. Your Honor, Alan Fox. Oh, you're doing down.
Down there.
So what's your step there? What's your step in there? Your Honor, the next appointee is John Freund. A young boy who loved soccer as much as he loved to write, John Freund found his joyful childhood shattered by the German invasion of Czechoslovakia. A Holocaust survivor, he became an author and public speaker, unearthing the horrors of the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp, a symbol of terror and genocide. His memoir, Spring's End, recounts his life from early childhood through harrowing experiences and death marches, to liberation and rehabilitation, and to sanctuary and new life in Canada. Mr. Freund became a much sought-after speaker across Canada and America, with appearances on CBC and interviews initiated by Steven Spielberg's Holocaust Project. An opera and classical music aficionado, Mr. Freund translated Czech music for CBC Radio and brought a production of the children's opera Brundabar to Toronto, one he saw as a teenager in the Theresienstadt ghetto, bringing joy to the imprisoned. Now at 91, John Freund has quietly lived life responding to any call for support, advocating for peace with an inner calm and generosity of spirit. Your Honor, John Freund. Your Honor, the next appointee is Susan Hay. A beloved journalist and anchor of news and current affairs with Global News for over 30 years, Susan Hay's exemplary career has enabled her to use her voice not only to report the news, but to profile the lives of people facing extraordinary challenges. She uses her platform to amplify the stories of hardworking, inspirational community members through her television segments, Susan Hay's Heart of the City and Making a Difference. Her passionate work on behalf of marginalized people has profoundly impacted lives in Canada and around the world. She has inspired Canadians to sponsor thousands of children in developing countries, providing help to millions of families. Amidst the hard news stories, Susan's relentless commitment to feature the forgotten and highlight heroes has inspired ordinary people to be the change in this world. She has touched and transformed countless lives through her influence and unwavering efforts. Your Honor, Susan Hay. Your Honor, the next appointee is John Jennings. One of Canada's foremost historians of canoe history, Dr. John Jennings was a central figure in the creation of the Canadian Canoe Museum in Peterborough, now a nationally recognized Canadian institution which educates Canadians about the contribution of the canoe to Canada's development. Dr. Jennings' book, The Canoe, A Living Tradition, is regarded as a seminal contribution to this field. His writing on the prominence of the canoe in shaping Canada's history provide an important link between this national iconic symbol and the natural environment and vast wilderness of this country. The Canadian Canoe Museum houses the finest collection of canoes, kayaks, and related artifacts of the world. Dr. Jennings is at the heart of protecting and preserving this dynamic early record of the influence of the canoe in shaping the history of Indigenous, French, and English peoples. Your Honor, John Jennings. Your Honor, the next appointee, Marlis Kaczynski, is unable to attend today's investiture. Dr. Marlis Kaczynski was the first female full professor of biochemistry at Queen's University and the first female dean of science at the University of Windsor. She's internationally recognized for her innovative research into lipoprotein A and cardiovascular disease, and has created a lasting legacy through her published works and her mentorship of university students across Ontario. Dr. Marlis Kaczynski will be invested at a later date. Your Honor, the next appointee is James W. Leach. As a business person, Jim Leach is best known for his tenure at the Ontario Teachers' Pension Plan, where he pioneered direct private investing on a global basis. During his time as CEO, Teachers was ranked as the world's best performing pension plan for investment returns and member service, and reported a funding surplus. He co-authored The Third Rail, Confronting Our Pension Failures, winning Best Canadian Business Book Award. As Chancellor of Queen's University from 2014 to 2021, he presided over 175 convocations, awarding 44,000 degrees. In recognition of his service and personal philanthropy, a scholarship, fellowship, bursary, classroom, and the student Cayley bear his name. His volunteer leadership spans decades. Since retirement, he has focused almost exclusively on philanthropic leadership in the areas of international development, post-secondary education, healthcare, and the military, as well as nonpartisan public service at the Ontario and federal levels, tirelessly championing causes that have impacted individuals on both a personal level and on a global scale. Your Honor, James W. Leach. Your Honor, the next appointee is Audrey Loeb. Respectfully dubbed the Condo Queen, Audrey Loeb is a lawyer, educator, author, and consumer advocate, and one of the first advocates of condominium law reform. She is passionately committed to improving the experience of those buying and living in condominiums in Ontario. She authored the Condominium Act, a user's manual, becoming a seminal authority in Ontario's condominium law. As Professor Emeritus of Law, she spent 28 years teaching at Ryerson School of Business, as business management, educating the next generation of business law experts. Beyond her professional accomplishments, Ms. Loeb is a passionate volunteer committed to better health in Ontario. She is the founder of the Weekend to End Breast Cancer for the Princess Margaret Hospital Foundation and led the enduring event for its first 5 years to raising over $80 million. It is said that Audrey Loeb cares about people individually and generally. Your Honor, Audrey Loeb. Your Honor, the next appointee is Danny Reese. A champion for Made in Canada, Danny Reese is President and CEO of the Canadian lifestyle brand and performance luxury manufacturer Canada Goose. An outstanding entrepreneur, he is committed to Canadian manufacturing, employing thousands of Ontarians across 4 stores and 3 of 8 Canadian manufacturing facilities in Ontario. Mr. Reese's passions for bringing Canada to the world and sustainably led design has fueled Canada Goose's expansion around the world. The brand continues to reinforce its purpose, which is to keep the planet cold and the people warm on it warm. In 2017, the company went public in an initial public offering that has been hailed as one of the most successful in recent history. Danny was recognized as Canada's most admired CEO in 2020, awarded Global Visionary of the Year by the Globe and Mail's Report on Business in 2019, and appointed to the Order of Canada in 2016. Your Honor, Danny Reese. Your Honor, the next appointee is Janice Rotman. Philanthropist and President-CEO of the Rotman Family Foundation, Janice Rotman has personally made a profound difference in many Ontario institutions, including Holland Bloorview, Canada's largest children's rehabilitation hospital, whose treatments, technologies, and therapies give children with disabilities the tools to participate fully in life. In addition, she is a generous supporter of Sick Kids, CAMH, University of Toronto, UHN, Gilda's Club, and the AGO. Ms. Rotman is a hands-on donor whose remarkable vision continues to inspire and is always looking for ways to work with organizations and help them achieve their goals. Building upon the Rotman family's outstanding philanthropic leadership across Canada, Ms. Rotman continues the family legacy, enhancing it through her personal support and commitment. To youth, she has said, "There's nothing more crucial than helping children in need." Your Honor, Janice Rotman. Your Honor, the next appointee is Linda Silver-Dranoff. An eminent lawyer, writer, and social justice activist, Linda Silver-Dranoff has devoted her career to transforming family law, achieving equality for women, and educating the public about law. An activist for law reform, she contributed significantly to the expansion of women's rights in the family in Ontario, including the first Supreme Court of Canada case to give Ontario wives a share of family investments. Her lobbying efforts helped bring about the Family Law Act 1986, fundamentally advancing the rights of Canadian women. A longtime columnist for Chatelaine magazine and author of several books on law for the public, Linda Silver-Dranoff made the law accessible, empowering readers with the knowledge needed to give equality practical effect. Her contribution to women's equality and to the mobilization of people in and out of the legal profession in aid of women's equality has been remarkable and inspiring. Your Honor, Linda Silver-Dranoff. Your Honor, our final appointee of this afternoon is Joan Sutton Strauss. Known for her energy and personal generosity, Joan Sutton Strauss was once one of Canada's best-known journalists, a fashion editor for the Toronto Telegram, lifestyle editor and columnist for the Toronto Sun Group, and a feature writer and columnist for the Toronto Star. Her columns have been collected in 3 books. She was appointed Agent General to the United States in 1990, heading up offices in New York City, Atlanta, Chicago, Boston, and Dallas. A volunteer all her life, Ms. Sutton Strauss believes passionately in its importance. She has served on many not-for-profit boards, including the Shaw Festival, the American Friends of Canada, and the Board of Overseers of the Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation, among others. She was named Woman of the Year by the Canadian Women's Club in New York and awarded the Canadian Commemorative Medal for Public Service. Your Honor, Joan Sutton Strauss. Your Honor, may I present our newly invested appointees to the Order of Ontario. Today's appointees join a long list of exceptional Ontarians whose achievements have benefited not only people living in Ontario, but across Canada and around the world. They were carefully selected by the members of the Order of Ontario Advisory Council, whose names are listed in your program. I would now like to take a moment to recognize the members of the Advisory Council, whose names are in your program. The Advisory Council is chaired by Chief Justice of Ontario, the Honourable George Strathy. And I would ask the members of the Advisory Council, please rise. Thank you, and congratulations on the great work in selecting today's appointees. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. And now I invite the Honourable Parm Gill to bring greetings on behalf of the province.
Your Honor, Chief Justice, Speaker, distinguished guests, it is truly an honor and a pleasure for me to be amongst all of you and to be part of this wonderful ceremony. I'd like to also recognize, I know there's a few of my colleagues that are in the crowd, and I'm proud to be here amongst all of you in my role as the Minister responsible for citizenship and multiculturalism to celebrate this honor with all of you. There's no secret, this is the 2019 ceremony, which was delayed, of course, due to the pandemic, but we wanted to ensure that we honored each of you the way you should be honored here in person with a proper ceremony each of you deserve. Premier Ford has asked me to pass on his greetings, and I quote, "I want to extend warm greetings to everyone taking part in the ceremonies for the 2019 appointees of the Order of Ontario. Our government is proud to recognize the remarkable individuals with our province's highest honors. You come from all walks of life and represent diverse fields of endeavor. Through your exceptional achievements, you have left lasting legacies and helped shape the character of a great province and a country. I offer my gratitude and heartfelt congratulations to the 2019 appointees. Thank you for your service. You embody the very best of our great province and the Ontario spirit. To everyone, thank you for coming to help celebrate these great Ontarians, and have a wonderful evening. Signed, the Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Doug Ford." I also want to take this opportunity, of course, personally to congratulate each and every one of you and thank you for everything you do to make our province and a country a better place. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our officials at the Ministry of Citizenship and Multiculturalism for doing a tremendous job and doing a lot of the heavy lifting behind the scenes to put this ceremony together, of course, under the leadership of our Deputy Minister, Deputy Way, and his team. Thank you, Deputy, for what you're doing. And once again, I want to wish each and every one of you a wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. I now invite soloist Jessica Scarlato to lead us in the singing of O Canada. Jessica received her master's degree in opera performance from the Schulich School of Music at McGill University, and she is sought after as a performer for many events and occasions, both here at home and abroad. For those who are able, please rise for our national anthem and remain standing for the departure of the Vice-Regal Party, followed by the 2019 appointees and the Advisory Council members.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras se porte l'épée, il se porte la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. This officially concludes the 2019 investiture ceremony for the Order of Ontario. The appointees and the Advisory Council members are now going to have their official photographs taken. I would like to invite everyone to move to the Corella Gallery to enjoy a reception. Please don't wait for the appointees. As I mentioned, they're currently having their photographs taken, and they will join you shortly. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.